Hey, what's up everyone? This is Gary A. Swaby, and I'm here today with Miss Dana Abercrombie. How you doing, Dana?
I'm doing wonderful, everyone.
Cool, and as you know, Dana is our executive entertainment editor. So, she gets to go to a lot of events, and recently she actually got to go to a media day for The Gentleman, which is the new film by Guy Ritchie. And, this video is basically going to be our review of the movie. We've both seen it now, and, Dana saw it first. So, I'm gonna, go over to her because, she got the whole media experience. She got to meet the crew and everything. So, I want to, definitely ask you first, Dana, what's your thoughts about The Gentleman? Like your overall summary of the film after seeing it. And we'll get into some of the finer details, like, what we thought of, the crew and cinematography and everything like that. We'll get into that later, but what's your basic summary of, what you saw and your thoughts, especially being someone, from the States and everything, and this is a very British orientated movie.
Say British. Here's the thing, I did not watch many of the previews for this, nor the trailer, and I confused it with The Kingsman, because I know there's a new Kingsman movie. So, I was slightly confused at first until I saw the poster and was like, oh, okay, and then realized I did not know anything about this movie. And I tend to like to go into movies blind. I know that it had Guy Ritchie, so I was really excited. But the last Guy Ritchie movie that just came out was Aladdin, so I was quickly deflated. For the simple fact, I did not know what we was gonna do. What they was gonna do, what we was gonna get, and I still had the horrors of, a blue Will Smith genie.
Okay.
But when the movie started playing, as an American, and this usually happens with every Guy Ritchie film, I have no idea what's going on for the first 10 minutes. It's like Shakespeare. And I mean that in the sense of how the dialogue is. Guy Ritchie has such a very particular way of how the dialogue sounds that, to me, I don't know what's going on. But then as the movie keeps going, I just pick up everything, and it's easy to follow. The opening was hilarious, where we kinda got that monologue with Matthew McConaughey. I don't know if you guys have it in the UK, but in America, he is known for his Lincoln car commercials. And it's literally just him monologuing about random stuff while driving in a car. And that is kind of how the very first opening act of him just talking sounded like. And in the audience, it was a lot of snickering, because that's kind of what it was getting that feel for. So I didn't know if they was trying to carry that, but that was hilarious in that part. But as the movie kept going, and as it was easier to figure out what was going on and to listen to everyone's accents, I felt that it was, so far, I know we're only into the 17th day of January, but it felt like right up there, one of the best movies of the year.
Wow, okay. Yeah, so, to your credit, because I saw the movie yesterday, and, it was me and somebody else that went to see it, and to your credit, the person I went with, they didn't know what was going on either, and we're both British people. But I think that's just the Guy Ritchie effect, because he goes into a lot of tangents in the movies, the dialogue and stuff, and the story. It's so disjointed in the stories that he's telling, but then somehow it all comes together, at the end, kind of thing. So it's like you pick up pieces of the plot as it goes along, kind of thing, but you never know what's going on.
And the language itself, I don't know what you guys had, but we had subtitles just in the parts of certain phrases that you guys use.
You guys probably you guys probably definitely needed subtitles because there's so many different accents in this. Like, there's Irish, there's Northern UK, there's London accent. Like, there's so many. It's just a different mashup of accents. And I didn't even know what type of accent Matthew McConaughey was trying to do. Honestly, like, I don't.
No, I thought that was just how he speaks. It's kind of like that.
Is that his normal voice?
High. That is his normal laid back, always high accent.
Okay, I thought maybe he was trying to do an English accent or something. I don't know, but yeah, like I could understand why people would need subtitles, like if they're not familiar with the UK accents and stuff.
And the slang is just woof.
Yeah.
I don't understand anything. Like, they'd be using, like, a Lucy for Rocky. And I'm like, what? Yeah, you guys' slang is a whole nother world. Yeah, that's the Cockney slang. And there was gypsy slang and stuff like that as well. So yeah, it's a big mix, but it definitely felt very authentic to, you know, the UK and everything. So that's good, because we don't really get a lot of, like, high-profile mainstream movies like this that really represent the British culture and stuff. So I like seeing movies like this. And, you know, it was to an extent, no, I wouldn't say it was highly diverse, but, like, there was enough, you know, going on in there for people to get a picture of the different types of characters and places in the UK. So I liked that. I thought it was, like, I'm not from the UK, but I thought they showed, you know, easily a class system and a race system there we have that's going on, especially kind of with Colin Farrell and his role and, like, the people that he deals with, which is much separate than the Matthew McConaughey or Dry Eye people. So I don't know. Like, from my standpoint, I thought it was as diverse as you could get for Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, I mean, for Guy Ritchie's standard, yeah, it was diverse, but the UK is, like, it's a lot more cultured. Like, there's a lot of different, there's Indian, Asians, you know, blacks, like, and I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I do think this was a great movie and everything, and, you know, it did show a lot, like, there was a lot of different types of characters from different places, different accents, and I respect that, but I don't think it always showed the diverse characters in the best light, but it was good. Like, I don't want to go too deep there. I think they did a good job for what this was. So yeah, I mean, that was cool, you know, diverse cast. It's a strong cast as well. Like, there's some heavy hitters. You got Matthew McConaughey, you got Colin Farrell, you got what's the lady's name? Michelle Dockery.
Michelle, yeah, who was from Downton Abbey and was completely unrecognizable.
Yeah, you know, Hugh Grant. You know, there's some
who was unrecognizable also.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was him at first, like, when he came on screen, but that was some, I would say these people definitely had some very great performances in the film, the ones that I mentioned, so all props to them. What do you think of the cast? Like, you think they all did an excellent job? They all did what they needed to do?
I thought that they all did what they needed to do. Obviously, the standouts for me is Hugh Grant. He was beyond sleazy. I could not recognize him. He changed his voice. He changed his speech pattern. The makeup that they used it wasn't something that was overwhelming. It was very subtle, but even with its subtleness, it completely changed how he looked, you know, in regular life. And how he carried himself was much different than if you was to meet him in person. And to see him in his other films, especially in, like, the romantic comedies back in the day. I thought it was wonderful. Even the guy who played the journalist, who they ended up later on kidnapping.
Oh, yeah.
I thought everyone really did, you know, their job. The kids who was running around robbing and rapping to people.
Right.
Well, that also worked, even though at first it felt disjointed.
Yeah.
Like, they could have had their own separate story, but I felt it all came together in the end, and everything just made sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so the story, for those who don't know what they're in for in terms of the story, I mean, it's very hard to actually explain. But, I mean, like, the core plot is simple. Basically, it's about, Matthew McConaughey's character, Mickey Pearson. He owns, like, a weed ring. So, like, he grows weed, sells it. But he's trying to sell the operation to a buyer. And, there's like also a rival buyer who wants to take over the business and everything, the whole operation. And there's just tons of conflict that comes from that, basically. And, it gets very complex, and it goes into it strays in different directions. And that's usually the case with Guy Ritchie films. Usually, like, there's one simple plot line, but it just extends into so many different places, and there's so many different layers. So that's Guy Ritchie's kind of style. But yeah, that, to simplify it, it's about that, like a guy who owns this weed ring, and he's trying to sell the operation, and then they get caught up in crazy stuff, basically. So that's
massive weed ring. This is not like, a couple pounds. This is like maybe a couple million pounds of weed.
Yeah, it's huge, and keep in mind that we don't have a legal weed system over here like you guys do in California and stuff, where people can have legal dispensaries and things like that. So the weed ring that Mickey Pearson has in this film is very valuable, because as things progress and weed does become legal, they'll be able to use that, as something to keep making money, basically. So yeah, like, that's the basis of the plot and everything. Do you feel like you were satisfied, once it got to the end and you understood what was going on fully in the film, and you saw the whole plot play out? Like, were you satisfied when the credits rolled?
Well, yeah, there were a lot of twists and turns that would make the movie kind of very unpredictable. But in the end, I think they did a very good job. When I was speaking to the cast, they filmed multiple endings, and Guy Ritchie would actually change scenes just on the fly.
Right. Yeah.
So, so overall, it was just, it worked. Like, I know that they did different deaths, and you didn't know who was gonna die, and the people who did die, they had different ways of them dying that was very anticlimactic. But what was finally on the screen, I felt it worked very well. And the only thing is that I really wanted to learn more about, Charlie Hunnam's character.
Oh yeah, Ray.
Basically kind of like Ray the bodyguard.
Yeah.
Because he kind of is that silent force, and we don't know whether or not he's going to flip on something, or flip on someone, or just take the whole business for himself. We just don't know. And that is what makes the movie really good, is that kind of believability for anyone to just change.
Right. Yeah, like, he's him and Hugh Grant kind of stole the show, in my opinion. Like, what's his name again? Sorry, the actor, Charlie Hunnam. Hunnam.
Charlie, I think it's Hunnam.
Hunnam, yeah.
I'm butchering it.
Our apologies. But yeah, him and Hugh Grant, I think, really stole the show. Matthew McConaughey was great as well. I don't want to take anything away from him. He was great as like the lead character. He did his thing. But yeah, I feel like Charlie and Hugh Grant really stole the show. And of course, Colin Farrell. He wasn't in the movie that much, but like his character was really well done. He was a bit over the top as well, but like it was fun. It was exciting. So.
Yeah, he kind of has this ability to play a comedic part without going out there trying to be a comedian.
Yeah.
Where everything just comes out natural and he's just hilarious and it's unintentional.
Yeah, it worked. You know, it worked.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like, I would say the actors all had great chemistry together. Like, I would have loved to have seen, like, a behind the scenes, you know, look at how they were, you know, how they were interacting on set and stuff, because it seemed like they had great chemistry together throughout. And it was just well put together. In terms of the cinematography, like, what do you think of that? Because I feel like this looks like one of the most polished Guy Ritchie films I've seen in quite a while. Like, everything.
Yes, it was very polished, and also the editing was superb.
Yeah.
You know, to put together a story that is told in bits and pieces and is complicated and a lot of back and forth with the scenes. It was well done, it was well shot, and it was just very well edited.
Yeah, I agree. And I know that you're a huge Downton Abbey fan, so, like, what do you think of Michelle Dockery's role in the movie?
She's another character, or another person who completely surprised me, because I'm used to, you know, Downton Abbey is that upper, you know, Queen's English, good morning, governor, type of situation, and you know, in her arc in the show, you know, it's kind of always putting out your best face forward and just, you know, going out there and trying to impress someone to get the husband. And with this one, it was just the complete opposite of a character, where she was her own person, and she was just like, screw the world. She loved Matthew McConaughey, which was awesome. But it was a very gritty part about her. She was very, you know, she can be very violent, very straightforward, and it was just something that I have not seen from her, and I really loved it. It was very refreshing, actually.
Right. Yeah, like, I mean, I don't watch Downton Abbey at all, but her character was definitely captivating, like, as soon as she came on screen. So yeah, she did a great job, considering this is like the first thing I've seen her in. She did a great job. Yeah, overall, like, how many Guy Ritchie movies have you seen? I'll name some of them, like, there's Sherlock Holmes, Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, Aladdin. Those are some of the big ones. Rock and Roller, Revolver. Yeah, you know, like, are you familiar with a lot of his movies? Okay, Dana, think she had to step away, but where I was going was basically, you know, I was going to ask whether this is one of the best Guy Ritchie movies. Now, in my opinion, I would definitely put it up there as one of the best, in my opinion. I think my favorite is Snatch overall. And, you know, as a fan of Sherlock Holmes, I would also put that high up in there. But this film really surprised me because I didn't know what to expect going into it, and I was thoroughly entertained. So I would say, you know, this might be it might possibly be one of the top 3 Guy Ritchie films.
For me, it was better than Snatch, and that to me is like one at the top.
Okay.
Like, for me, I'm gonna probably have to maybe say it's his best.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I completely understand why someone would say that, though. Like, quality-wise, the chemistry and the acting, the star power, this was definitely a great movie. I didn't know what to expect going in, and I was thoroughly entertained. So yeah, I have to put Snatch at the top just because it's like one of my all-time favorites, but this comes in, you know, probably second, actually. I probably would put it above Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes was like trash.
Was
it good?
It was good. Like, I'm a Sherlock Holmes fan, so I'm biased.
It's a top 3 for you?
like I said, I'm biased. I'm a Sherlock Holmes fan, but I would put this above that though, definitely. I never was a huge fan of Lock, Stock. I know that's another one that people love, but
yeah. So what about Rock and Roller?
Rock and Roller, I really like Rock and Roller, but I feel like there are parts of that film that are just unnecessary and it drags on too long. So like, yeah, there's like at least 30 minutes of that film that could be cut out, I think. But that was a good film though. And you know, it has Idris in it, one of our favorites. So.
You're like, I love Idris. And then Revolver or worse than Revolver?
I need to watch Revolver again, honestly. Like, I don't remember what I thought of it. I remember it being one of the most talked about, but I personally don't remember a lot of it, so I would need to rewatch it. But yeah, I mean, The Gentleman, definitely a top 3 Guy Ritchie movie in my opinion. So I gotta give props. Is there anything, you know, final that you want to say? You know, considering, you know, you went to the whole press day, you saw the movie and everything, and so, like, you got any final thoughts to close out this review?
To close it out is that it is absolutely amazing. Everyone should go and see it. Guy Ritchie is evolving as a writer and as a director, so it's just really great to see him right now at his best. And it's really great because this is something that when he returned home, this is what he's known for. You know, he kind of had to go out and make the big, you know, blockbuster movies and work with the Disneys and the Sherlock Holmes, but this is kind of what he returned to his home, and it was just something that was very superb, and I greatly appreciate it. And during the whole press day thing, I know that, you know, everyone's talking about working really hard to get this right, to get this tone right, and I feel like they succeeded because it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I agree, and I hope that we continue seeing a lot of Guy Ritchie movies like this. I know that he does a lot of like American-based stuff, but I love when he gets to really like, you know, put his focus on British culture and, you know, highlight some of the different, you know, types of people that you would find in the UK and stuff. Like, I really love these styles of movies that he makes. And, you know, he definitely is like our Tarantino in that respect. So very, very proud of this movie. And I definitely recommend people, you know, to go see it. If you want to go see a fun, exciting movie, definitely go see it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's pretty much it from us. I mean, I guess like people like ratings. So out of 5, what would you rate the film? Just to, you know, give people something to go away with, because I know people like numbers. So out of 5, what would you give?
5. See, here's the thing. And this goes with all Guy Ritchie films. Partly because I don't, you know, you have to get into the dialogue and the language of what's going on, and also because you need to figure. It's great once you already know what's happening to rewatch it again, so that you can pick up on things that you've missed the first time. I feel like that is what makes also a good movie. Not the fact that it's confusing you, but the fact that you have to watch it again because there's so many different things that's going on at the same time, and double crossing and triple crossing, and this one over here and that one's dead. So, for me, I would have to rate it a 5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I gotta give it a 5. I mean, it's a top 3 Guy Ritchie movie for me. He has a lot of, like, you know, films that are considered classics, so I would go 5 out of 5 in my opinion. So yeah, that's our review of The Gentleman. If you guys want to know anything else about it, you know, just drop a comment, we'll answer. And, you know, there's a chance we might have some more content related to this coming out. So definitely keep checking the Koalition.com. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Look out for a lot more movie reviews coming from us as well. But for now, take it easy, people. See you later, Dana.
See you later, Gary.
Cheerio.